Hey, this is Michael Daingerfield. You may know me as Han Solo in Lego Star Wars, Superman and Krypto the Superdog, Sesshomaru and Inuyasha, Gintoki Sakata and Gintama, and Captain America in Lego Marvel Avengers, as well as Wheeljack, Quickmix, Roadblock, and Inferno from the Transformers Unicron series. Hope you enjoy the podcast.
Hello, everybody. Amber here. Welcome back to In Conversation with ATF. My guest today is a voice actor. He is a voiceover coach. He has done a lot. Right. He has done. I'm gonna have to go through his resume because some of the stuff he has done is absolutely fantastic. Right. He's been the voice of Ace Ventura in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. You know, the animated series, along with the Mask animated series. He was Ace Ventura in that. You know, both Jim Carrey characters. Which actually, I didn't know he did ADR. Right.
Yes, I did.
Which Jim Carrey film was it?
In the second movie, in the second Ace Ventura movie. Does poop ring a bell?
Ooh,
It was sort of one of the...
that's awesome. All right, I'm tempted to know about that. My guest has also voiced Wheeljack in Transformers Armada. I got it all on DVD, baby. I have to bring these for you to sign, actually. Inferno / Roadblock, whichever one you want to call him, in Transformers Energon. Quickmix in Transformers Cybertron. Braeburn in My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. Gintoki Sakata in Gintama. Sesshomaru in Inuyasha: The Final Act. If I do pronounce any of these wrong, please do forgive me. Superman in Krypto the Superdog. I grew up with that. That was on Cartoon Network. I always love watching that as a little 4-year-old. Han
cool.
Solo in Lego Star Wars: The Yoda Chronicles. Captain America and the Tinkerer in Marvel Superhero Adventures. He was the narrator for the George of the Jungle cartoon from 2007 in season 1, only season 1.
George of the Jungle was here. I was sort of that kind of old schooly,
yes.
like 1920s voice. Yeah.
Yes. I think it was Paul Frees who did the original. I think it might have been. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. In live action, my guest also portrayed Gordon Godfrey in Smallville. And his other credits include Class of the Titans, Max Steel, Ninjago, Nina's World, Polly Pocket, Barbie and the Secret Door, Supernatural, Arrow, and many, many more. And if you're near the Llangollen area, he is appearing at Wells Comic Con Llangollen this weekend, September 21st. No, I'm wrong. September 20th to the 21st. My guess is Michael Daingerfield. Hi, Michael.
Hey. And I'm 6% Welsh, so I can't wait to go back home to meet my people.
Yeah,
you know?
Awesome. Well, I live on the border to North Wales, so it's literally like the venue is at, which is the Eisteddfod Pavilion, Llangollen Pavilion. It is like a half an hour drive from my house. Like, I'm so cool. Close. I'm literally down the road from it.
So I'm coming over for lunch on a Sunday.
Yes. We're cooking roast dinner. We're doing a beautiful... Have you ever had a Sunday roast? You know?
I mean, not in the UK, but, so I'm open.
Oh, they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. But
melts off the bone,
oh yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, it's similar to Thanksgiving dinner, but it's not Thanksgiving dinner, if you get what I mean. We have the meat, we have the potatoes, we have the vegetables, we have gravy. Yeah. We have all that. Oh, I cannot wait.
Awesome.
But first of all, how are you doing, Michael? How are you doing? It's been.
I'm just excited. I'm super excited to come out to Wales. Jamie got in touch, and it's going to be so cool. I'm coming out with my wife, and then we're actually going to tack on a bit of a trip beyond that. So it's super cool. And we got some help with our kids for just my wife and I to go. So we're going to go to Venice and Croatia and down to the southern tip of Italy to a little island called Ischia, which is super cool. And so I'm just very, very excited. It's going to be super cool. Can't wait to meet all the people at the con and it's just going to be super cool.
That sounds awesome. I'm so excited for you. So it's like a little European tour for you and your wife then?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, exactly, right?
Now, I have zero idea where to get started. So by default, Transformers Armada.
Yes.
Let's talk. So as you can see, I probably want you to sign all these DVDs, so I'm not going to overwhelm you. But how did you first get involved with the Transformers franchise? Because I know Beast Wars had a lot of the Armada cast, Vancouver based and stuff, but you didn't come in until the Unicron trilogy. So how did your Transformers journey get started?
Yeah, because Beast Wars was like a couple years before, maybe 2 or 3 years,
1996, right? I think.
96, so more than a few, yeah, because I think we did Armada in 2002.
Yeah, I keep thinking it was 2004. Yeah, it was 2002. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I was a part of the, I would say the main crew of guys who was doing animation in Vancouver, from guys like, Scott McNeil to David Kay
Oh,
to Gary Chalk and
stop.
like, just all those guys, Brian Drummond. And I had met most of those people and worked on some shows. And then so Armada came into town and it was like, all right, and I think we all just started auditioning for it, and yeah, and I don't, it's so funny, as I'm sure you've heard, it's like when you get on shows like this in the moment, like you're happy to work and you're excited to be a part of it, but then I think later on you realize what it actually meant because like when I was a kid, I was a huge Transformers fan. I mean, I remember getting like I can't remember I think it was Optimus Prime or I can't remember what character was, but I had the huge like figurine and the whole thing and you know what I mean? Like I was a massive Transformers fan and then all of a sudden I'm on the show and it's similar to the Han Solo thing, right? Like when you get to play characters that you've grown up as a kid watching and then all of a sudden you're saying the lines and it's
Yeah.
just yeah, it's kind of nutty.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Speaking of Scott McNeil, yes, there are a lot of people who I've connected to. Some people who I think I've spoken to Gary Chalk, Brian Drummond, Richard Neiman. Scott McNeil was going to be at TF Nation last month, but he ended up. I think he cancelled like the day before. Apparently, he was unwell and he was advised not to fly. So
Oh no.
I don't know what's going on, but I was trying to get him on a podcast, and I was hoping my meetup with him at TF Nation would sort of snowball into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe in the future, I don't know. But yeah, there are a lot of people who especially David Kay, who's a
Yeah.
very close friend of mine, who
Yeah.
I've spoken to and connected with, and they're just it's really lovely because you've got like the LA side of voiceover, and then you've got the Vancouver side, you've got the
Hmm.
Toronto, you've got New York.
Yeah.
There are like in different areas and stuff, but no matter
Yes.
which way you go, they're all very, very lovely people.
Very lovely
Um,
people. And I started out in Toronto. That's where I got my first job doing Ace Ventura. And I
mhm.
learned the ropes of like voice acting there and certainly
Because
cut my teeth on the show.
yes, because Dan Hennessy voice directed you, I believe.
Now you're gonna make me have a tear because he was
Oh
my
yes,
so because that was my
rest in
first show.
peace.
That was my very first show in animation, period. I didn't do a guest spot, or I might have done one. I can't even remember, but I'm pretty sure it was my first thing. And Dan, I'll never forget it, welcomed me in the driveway of the studio, and he walked out of his
Oh,
blue Corvette and he said, "Congratulations on getting a very hard and difficult role."
oh,
And then he was so in my corner because I was so nervous. I was, a young kid and I was
yeah,
just going in there and it was a big deal. I mean, at the time, Jim Carrey was the biggest star on the planet. Like
yeah,
he truly was. He had just done Dumb and Dumber and The Mask and Ace Ventura and then this cartoon's coming out and there were
yeah.
three cartoons of Jim Carrey's work at that time as well. He had The Mask, Dumb and Dumber and Ace Ventura, but Ace Ventura was
Adventure.
the only one that had the license to copy his voice and do the impression.
Yeah.
So when I
Mm-hmm.
did the voice, I really tried to get close to it. Anyways, Dan was super cool and just like so in my corner and just an awesome director too. He was my buddy and became a very, very dear friend of mine and just can't say enough about him. He's an amazing guy. So he passed away in November of last year. It's very
Yeah, I
sad. Yeah.
did hear. And he also voice directed the X-Men animated series as well. I'm not sure if you
Yes.
know anyone who worked on that.
I know, I do know a couple of people from back in the day. It was a guy who played, I think, Wolverine.
Cal Dodd.
Yes, yeah.
I
So
know.
yeah,
I always
so
see them at Cal.
I
Okay,
worked
okay.
with Cal on some stuff in Toronto, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean that was a pretty special version of the show, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Cal is like one of the most loveliest people. I always have to gush about him. I've never had him on my show or trying to work on it. But like I have a Polaroid camera, which I'm starting to take pictures with voice actors now, and I
Cool.
get people to sign it for them. And I think I think I'm saying I think because I'm not entirely sure. I think Cal was the first ever person who signed a polo. No, no, he wasn't. He might have been the first one at San Diego. Here it is.
Okay.
There you go. You can't really see it, but yeah, it's
Oh,
too dark.
cool.
It's way too dark. There we go.
So that's a Polaroid of you and Cal,
Cal,
and he
yes.
signed it. Oh, that's cool.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna have to gush now. I'm gonna have to gush. I do have like a bag full of like these Polaroids that people have signed. They're over here in my bag. Get them. They're in this bag, and there's
That's
like I got
awesome.
most of the X-Men cast. I know this is like I rarely gush in interviews, but like they're so
Gush away,
nice.
gush away.
Character's so nice. And here they all are here. I literally have a big pile of them.
Wow.
Probably a few more. I'll just go through some of them you might recognize. Lenore Zahn, who was Rogue.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Catherine Disher, who is Jean.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going through the specific Canadian ones. There's the Wolverine one.
Who's that? Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
Cal.
that's Cal.
That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
with that's the
Yeah.
one with Cal. Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. You're gonna have to put all those in a big frame and put them up on your wall.
I do have a frame here, like beside my wall, of a lot of Polaroids I have taken over the years, and honestly, it's probably the best Christmas present I ever got was a Polaroid camera.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll be doing that at Comic Con,
Nice.
that's for sure. But what were the recording sessions of Transformers Armada, as well as like the whole Unicron trilogy, like for you? I'm presuming, obviously, because it was an anime, you had to dub over it, and
Dub
it
over it.
was
Yeah. I
audio.
remember some of it being pretty intense actually. I can't remember which character, if it was Inferno or Wheeljack, but
Well, Wheeljack
maybe it was
was a Decepticon, or about to turn Decepticon, right? If I
yeah,
remember
yeah.
correctly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just remember there's some pretty intense battle scenes and just some intense
Yeah.
yelling and just and it was awesome, but it was cool. Like some of it was super dramatic, right? And you're just in the moment.
Yeah.
It's like dramatic acting, which is a very cool. Cartoons aren't typically like that, right? I mean, some are obviously if you get into Batman or that kind of those slices of shows. But yeah, I remember that kind of stuff, and it was over at Coco Studios in Vancouver with
Sorry, Klassen.
Terry Clausen directing and Chris Hobbs engineering, and we just would go in and bang it out, and yeah, and then you just didn't know if it was going to become a thing, and here we are. I mean, it's insane. We're talking about it 23 years later. It's crazy,
Yeah.
you know.
Have you ever been to the UK before for a Comic Con appearance or anything like that before
No, I have
this?
not. No, I haven't. This is
Wow.
my first time to the UK ever in my life.
I love that. I'm
So
so
yeah,
excited for you, man.
I'm
I'm so
so
excited.
excuse me. No, I'm so excited to. It's kind of funny that I haven't been there because my comedy and music influences are the most from UK. Like that's
Really?
well because I mean most of my DNA is from the UK actually.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
truly is. So
Yeah.
it's just I naturally gravitate towards British humor and British music. Like I'm a huge Radiohead fan, Pink
Oh yeah.
Floyd, Pink
Ooh.
Floyd, Coldplay, U2. I mean, there's like a lot of different influences throughout the years that I just really just I don't know what it is. It's just there's an ease there that I just kind of get it, and it's awesome.
But for long shot, are you a fan of Blur, Gorillaz, Damon Albarn, or not?
I mean, Blur a little bit for sure, the others not so much.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
I only just got into Gorillaz, so I've been listening to their music all, and they're doing an album next year and stuff like that. Um,
Cool.
have you ever been to any like TF Con or BotCon or anything like that in the States or not?
No, no, and here's the thing. I took a big break from doing cons up until about 2 years ago. I went to a My Little Pony con in 23 in
Uh-huh.
Chicago, and
Yeah.
because I have young kids, and so my kids are 6, 9, and 15, and so I took about an 8 or 9 year hiatus off of doing cons, and I just kind of
Ah, right. Okay.
I stopped doing it,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of getting back into it now. I did one back in last June in Texas,
Hmm.
um, which was kind of a nostalgia style con, which was kind of cool. And that was down in Arlington, I think it's
I
called.
think
Uh,
so.
it's like an hour flight from Houston. And that was cool. So yeah, I'm just sort of, I'm dealing with a few different agents now. They're kind of pitching me for various cons, but I definitely want to, get back in there and do it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Well, I'm so happy that the first ever con that you're doing is, well, it's right on my doorstep.
That's crazy. Can you get it a little closer to your home? I mean, come on.
I wish. I wish. I mean, Llangollen
You
is
open the door.
absolutely
Oh, it's right
beautiful.
there.
Oh, hello, hello. Just like Llangollen is absolutely beautiful. I spent my 18th birthday there, just like in like the sort of like the foresty, woodland areas. I'm not sure how long it might have been from the pavilion, but it was absolutely
Okay.
beautiful, and I would live there if I could, purely because of like the lakes and the steam railway and just how remote it is.
Cool, cool. Very cool.
Yes, 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 yes. So, what was it like transitioning into Energon and Cybertron and playing characters that were obviously not Wheeljack? Did Terry voice direct you? Were you in the
He
same
did, yeah.
studio?
Terry directed all three of those series, and yeah, I think once I got into the second show, I think I ended up doing quite a few episodes in the next one. Yeah.
Mm,
Pretty sure. But just kind of, you by then you kind of just get the flow of everything, right? So you've got
yeah,
the workflow down with the director and the engineer and just the dubbing and then you kind of really do have a sense of the show and the style and all that stuff and yeah, you just kind of get to it, you just
yeah,
get in there and get present to what's going on and that's with dubbing, right? I mean, we don't really I don't think I really ever have had the script prior to a dubbing session. It's just kind of getting clear in the moment, getting the preview of the scene. You already
yeah,
know the character, just, lay it up, get the timing,
yeah.
and then get to it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Real quick before we must move on to sort of like the anime sort of parts, have you ever met Jim Carrey in person?
No, I have not. And I really wanted to when I was doing, I did the series and then we did a couple of video games out in LA around the time I was doing the show. And I
Yeah.
actually was at Morgan Creek, which is the main production company that produced all the movies. And I
Oh
was talking to
wow.
one of the main executive producers and I said, "Hey,
Hmm.
Gary, could I meet Jim? This is I'd really," and he was like, "Yeah, that'd be so cool. Get you guys together, blah blah blah." And then it just never worked out. So I think one day I will meet him somehow. We're gonna cross paths. I mean, he was up here. They shoot Sonic in Vancouver, and I wasn't really doing on. I haven't done on camera for a number of years,
Hmm.
but because I've just been doing voice. But
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get back into it. So, but yeah, I think I will meet him. I think I will meet him one day and
Awesome.
have a
Awesome. I
giggle.
really hope you
And
do.
I'll
I
say,
really hope you do.
"Pleasure to meet you. It's a real honor."
That would be so cool if you just started talking to each other and you're like,
Yeah,
you're me. Yeah. It's like the
yeah,
Spider-Man point to me and be like, oh, it's like that's me.
exactly.
Now you mentioned before we started recording that you obviously you took over from David Kate as a Sesshomaru. I believe that's how you say it.
Sesshomaru.
Sesshomaru. I do apologize.
That's all
But
good.
you took over after David, and then he took over. I'd love to know the
Yeah.
story behind that, if that's
So
okay.
that was in, I think that was in, what year was that? I think like 2012 maybe, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so over at Ocean in Vancouver, which is a pretty famous dubbing studio in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And so yeah, the audition came in. It was like, yeah, we're looking for a voice match of David Kay's Shomaru. And I had worked with David, and I'd even taken like a weekend master voice class with him with a
Oh
woman named
wow.
Maurice, yeah, with Maurice Tobias. So this was back in '07, and
Oh wow.
I kind of was like, you know what? I think I have a similar, kind of timbre. It like you can sort of drop down into that sort of David Kay kind of, like
Yeah.
sort of in there, sort of that sort of timbre, like if you're sort of, that kind of thing. And I sort of,
All
I
I
was able
hear
to
is
sort of,
David.
you know what I mean? Like you could sort of drop down and sort of like that. And I was able to kind of get in there. I was like, oh, that's kind of because I'm an impression guy, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm working on my Bill Burr right now. I don't know if you know Bill
Ooh.
Burr, but he's a
Name sounds
comedian
like.
from the US.
Oh
And
right, I
he's a
see.
bald guy like me. And he's sort of a red-haired ginger guy. And so he sort of talks like this. Anyways,
Hmm.
people that know him might think that's all right. So I kind of just got into the David Kay sort of thing, and then the character was not terribly far from his voice,
Yeah.
and I just kind of found it. Again, it had that dramatic kind of feel, and Sesshomaru's a bit of a badass, right? And you just kind of get into it. And I knew, obviously, I knew Richard Ian Cox, so I was getting a sense of that sort of playfulness that he was bringing to Inuyasha, and then you know what I mean?
I really need to interview Richard because, like, when I found out he was from Denbighshire, he is from North Wales. You know
Oh,
that, right? Yeah,
he is.
yeah.
Oh, I
He
didn't
was
know
born.
that.
He was born in Denbigh. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes, yes. That's why I've always wanted him on my show because he is just like down the road from it. Well, he was born in St. Asaph, which is obviously in Denbigh. And
That's
then
crazy.
he moved to Vancouver when he was 14.
Oh, when he was 14.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's crazy. I thought you were going to say like one or two.
No, no, no.
That's
Which is I
crazy.
that's crazy. I need to try and get him on my show. Like, yeah,
Wow.
I'm just like trying to scout around and stuff like that. There's a lot of people like on the Vancouver side who I really want on my show. Obviously him, and then like Scott McNeil. I'm trying to think who
Yeah.
else is there. I've
Brian
had
Drummond.
I've had Brian. I've had Lee Tokar.
Yeah.
Who else have I
Tabitha
not
St.
had?
Germain.
I need her. Nicole
Yeah.
Oliver.
Yeah. Andrea Libman. There's
Andrea
there's
Libman.
there's a
Yes,
ton
yes.
of
Ashley
world-class
Ball.
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Just all these people. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Canadians are so nice. Like they're so polite. Like I've got to
Yes.
say that now.
Good people. Good people. Yes. Right?
Definitely. I need to make it
Yeah,
out there
totally.
someday. I'm sleeping on it. All my trips to LA, they're just thing. I need to go to Vancouver. I need to go to
Yeah,
Toronto,
come to
I need to go.
Vancouver. Come to
Yes.
Vancouver.
Oh, it's gonna be so exciting. It's just planning for everything. So moving on, of course, to My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Speaking of all those wonderful people, you were the voice of Braeburn. So
Yes.
what was it like sort of doing that and then the Brony fandom? And then I know you said you did a con in was that one in
Chicago, yeah, I did
Chicago?
Chicago. It was
Yes, yes.
Winnie City, it's called in
Yeah.
Chicago, and there's only
Yeah.
about four My Little Pony cons left.
Wow.
But I've done a few actually, a few My Little Pony cons over the years, and but doing Braeburn was cool. I actually went to university in Kentucky in the
Ooh.
U.S., so I got
Mm-hmm.
exposed to that sort of like I was able to sort of drop into that kind of southern thing pretty easily because I was around it for like 4 years, and like
Yeah.
everyone talked to me. I just was able to like find that, and I brought that to Braeburn, that welcome to Appaloosa, that kind of like just sort of just a real friendly guy and just sort of like in there. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just kind of found it. And again, you do these auditions from home. You audition, you're a voice actor, you know what it's like. You throw in the
Yeah.
audition and you leave it, and then they go, yeah, you're doing this thing. And slowly but surely you realize that people are really liking this show, and the main six girls that were in the cast are superstars, as a
Yeah.
result of that show. It's crazy. They're just really, really famous people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then us
Definitely.
people that sort of did some of the side characters also got a little bit of attention, right? Which is kind of neat too. So, you go to
Yeah.
some cons, and fun working on the show and the whole thing. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, what do you sort of prefer doing? Do you prefer recording original animation where they animate to your voice, or do you prefer dubbing where you have to dub over? Well, I presume dubbing is probably harder, but which one do you prefer?
Um, Hmm. I mean, I would say I probably prefer doing original animation because it's a little more freeing because you can
Mm-hmm.
just like you can really like create the journey of the character. It's yours to
Yeah.
create that in the sandbox and on the canvas and so on, right? You know what I mean? Whereas in
Yeah.
dubbing, having said that, I do like, when I played Gintoki Sakata and Gintama and Sesshomaru and Johan Trinity and the Transformers stuff, like it's I do enjoy like seeing what you're going to dub to. Like that's kind of it's an interesting process, right? You're like
Yeah.
it's sort of like, oh, like the scene's been built, you've got the music, you're responding to the other actors and everything else, and you're sort of in it. So that's kind of cool to see what you're gonna be working with. But there's just there's animation is just like it's just so fun and freeing and responding, and you're listening to the other actors, and you can just take it anywhere, and then
Yeah.
try stuff. You can just try and experiment, and it's super cool.
Well, I did a dubbing session. It's just before I went to LA. I had to dub over an animation. Tara Strong was the voice director. Surprisingly.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
so I had to do that. It was very hard because there was some. It was
Really?
so weird because like the way I had to dub it is like I couldn't portray the character how I thought it would be. Like for example, if they were mad or something, but the way they were animated, it's like they were just sort of like you were like, oh my, it's getting late. Like that sounds very sarcastic. If it was me, I'd be like, "Oh my, it's getting late!" Like I would proper amp it up if it wasn't dubbed
Yeah,
or anything
yeah,
like that. Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
yeah, yeah,
hard,
yeah, yeah,
very
yeah,
very hard.
yeah, yeah.
Who would you say are your voiceover heroes? They can be Canadian, they can be American, they can be British. I
Uh,
don't know.
I mean, it's, there's a bunch of names that come to mind, like Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill.
Oh,
Uh,
Kevin. Yes, I met him at
he's
Jamie had him over in 2022.
really,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's so cool.
People over, yeah.
He's like a very special, apart, him and Mark I've never had a chance to meet Mark, and obviously doing the Star Wars stuff, it was, you get pretty close. I mean, my voice was approved by Lucasfilm, and to
Ooh.
play Han Solo and stuff, and I think I was in like five different series as that. But anyways, yeah, I mean, and there's some people in Vancouver that I really looked up to when I first came here, like Scott McNeil, like Brian Drummond, Lee Tokar. I learned a lot from these people because I was still the cement of my foundation of me as a voice actor was still settling when I got a chance to work with them, and they were already like had done quite a lot of stuff, and I really learned from them and stole some tricks and like what like do you know what I mean? Just like, oh, that's how you okay, got it. I'm gonna use that later, and people like that, and they're really kind people, and Tabitha St. Germain,
Mhm.
incredible, very free voice actress.
Yeah.
Like she's incredible. Like she's so uh effortless,
Hmm.
when she
Yeah.
works. Even if it's a hardcore monologue that's this long on the page, she just gets through it, and it's just like she doesn't sweat it at all.
That's awesome. It's very talented. She's very talented. I mean, I've not had
Mhm.
the pleasure of talking to her yet,
And
but hopefully one day down the line.
she's very
Um,
funny too. That's the thing. Is like that's the thing. As you know, I mean, when you do this work, you're in the room. At least in Vancouver, we do ensemble, right? So you're in the room with eight other people, 10 other people, 12 other people, and you're just laughing and supporting each other, and there's just such a good vibe, and yeah, it's working with those people is really special. Cool.
so Krypto the Superdog. I've got to bring this up because I
Yeah.
grew up watching this show, and I've got to ask, what was it like doing it? I know Sam Vincent was Krypto. I haven't spoken to him yet. Yet it's in the
Yeah, you got to
works.
get him
In the
on.
works.
He's an
In the
amazing guy.
works. Uh-huh.
Uh, it was cool. I mean, I did one episode as Superman, so it was sort of like I know it's like, a very small amount of work,
Mm-hmm.
but it's cool. Like I just for giggles, I went to I don't know what it was like Wikipedia or something, and I was like, how many people in film and TV history have played Superman, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just was curious. I was like, how? And I think there's like uh 60 or 70, or like if you count all video games and TV and film, and so that's where I was like I felt proud to be a part of that, even though it's one episode. I still played the character. You know what I mean? That's so it's kind of neat. Krypto, the Superdog is super cool show. Sam did such a great job, and yeah, it was Warner Brothers Animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super cool.
I think what's really interesting though is that it was developed by Alan Burnett and Paul Dini. And like the Superman in that show does look like Superman from Superman the animated series. But like instead of doing it in the sort of Bruce Timm style that they'd already done stuff with, they produced it in sort of the style of like Hanna-Barbera. I always wondered why it looked similar to Scooby-Doo. That as a kid, wondering,
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
that's
Yeah, the shape of
Scooby-Doo.
the face, right, of the boy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was only that one episode that you did then.
yeah. I mean, when I got it, I was like, "Cool, I'm Superman." And then it just turns it like he kind of basically says to Kevin, he's like, well, Kevin, I'm gonna let you go," or like da da da, like, and he just sort of, there's a few scenes, and Crypto,
Yeah.
you look after him, and or whatever, you stay here with Kevin, like this, whatever the
Oh.
scene was, and but again, it's like the Han Solo and Captain America being a part of those legacies. I think there's been 14 people on the planet that have played Han Solo. So
Mm-hmm.
super proud to be a part of that. And I think about 50 have played Captain America. So
Mhm.
it's cool to be a part of that. You know what I mean? Like to be a part of those. You know what's funny?
Yeah.
Speaking of David Kay, he and I have both played Superman and Captain America
Yes,
in
that's
different iterations,
correct.
but it's kind of
Uh-huh.
neat, right? Like it's just it's like a feather in your, in your cap, right?
Yeah, but that's so cool. Before obviously you did that, were you familiar with the like the Bruce Timm sort of animated, so like Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series? Were you familiar with that sort of
I mean,
art
I
style, or
think
have you seen it?
somewhat. I think somewhat. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Superman and Batman. Used to watch the what was it called? Not the Hall of Justice, but the Super Friends. I mean, basically, it was Super Friends back
Yes,
then,
Challenge of
way,
the
way
Super
back,
Friends. Yes.
right? Like, and now back at the Hall of Justice,
Yeah.
Ted Knight, I think his name was, that did the voiceover.
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah,
I believe
right.
Casey
So,
Kasem was Robin, I think. That might be wrong.
and
I
so
don't know.
like I always loved, DC and just that whole I loved all that stuff. I think they always did a great job, and I might have fallen out of watching it a ton, but was
Yeah.
always a fan for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of DC, you were in Smallville, weren't you? Now I've got to ask you, played Gordon
Correct.
Godfrey. Did you get a chance to work with either Michael Rosenbaum or John Glover?
I did not. No, I basically I worked with Erica Durance quite a lot in my
Mm-hmm.
episodes, and then obviously with Tom Welling quite a bit. And
Ooh,
I was in
interesting.
about, I think I was in about 4 or 5 episodes of that last season. I was one of the main villains
Ah,
for
right, okay.
the last season. So, and I was actually
Mm-hmm.
in the very last episode of
Ooh.
the the series finale. And even funny enough, even further, I was the very last actor to be shot in the series.
Wow, that's
So this is
awesome.
crazy. So I was doing this monologue to, like, I think it was to camera, and I was in this chair and I was sort of talking to my minions or whatever it was. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this monologue and this whole thing, and then it was like, and cut, and then the first AD yelled out, and that completes 10 years of Smallville, like this, and the whole like crew, like 150 people, clapping and hugging, and they knew that was like it was it, and I was like literally the last person to be filmed in the show, like it was
That is
crazy,
awesome. That is
yeah.
awesome. Huge honor,
And
definitely,
Tom,
definitely.
Tom and Erica were amazing, but yeah, I never got a chance to work with Michael. I know people that know Michael in Vancouver, and I certainly want to, meet him one day and just, he seems like a great guy. I've listened to his podcast quite a lot, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
Seems like a really
Hmm.
funny guy.
That's
And John
awesome.
Glover, no, I'd never have not did not get a chance to meet him, but
That's a
super cool
shame.
experience. It was awesome. Like what a great set and just all that, and yeah, it was super cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Finally, we've got to talk about George of the Jungle. Now, I said the narrator before was Paul Frees. I believe it was Hans Conried who narrated the original. I do apologize about that. That's
Like
me not
in
being
that style of sort of like in here. Well, George
potentially,
went through, and
yes.
I don't even know if I was mocking what he did, but I remember that's the voice that just came out of my head. I was like, it's that old-timey 1920s announcer
Yeah,
voice.
radio voice.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I was like, and that's it. And that kind of just came, they were like, yeah, that's cool. Do that, you know?
What
Yeah.
happened with the cast change though? Because I think like after season one finished, they just completely
Well,
recast everything.
we did 26 episodes in Vancouver, and it was um great. I mean, yeah, and then that was it, and then it went to Toronto like years later.
Oh, right, okay.
That's what
Hmm.
happened. So I don't know why. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know why, but because
Yeah.
I think it did well, but yeah. But that was with like Brian Drummond and Sam, or no, sorry, Lee
Britt
Tokar with
McKillop.
George.
I think Britt
Who
McKillop
else?
was in it as well.
Yeah, Britt McKillop was in that, and
Hmm.
Paul Dobson.
Yes,
Paul
yes.
Dobson, and he and I
One of the
probably
Dobson
laughed.
brothers.
Paul and I probably laughed more on that show than two human beings could possibly laugh in life, because he he used to do this thing to me. I don't know if I can show you this with my screen share, but so pretend this is like my music stand. You know how it's kind of like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He would
yeah.
literally put pictures of like at one point he put the picture of the Pope on his pencil and he taped it on there, and he was like, "Oh." and he put it like up and down like this, like while I'm doing, George goes into the jungle and is trying to get through to get like this, and he's putting this pet, and I'm like, we just like, oh my God, we just had so much fun. It was just the best. Yeah.
Yes, Paul Dobson, one of the Dobson brothers,
One of
related
the
to
Dobson
Brian and
brothers,
Michael.
the
Hmm.
trilogy. Yeah. The
Yeah, I love
triad.
Michael. I've spoken to. I've not spoken to Paul or Brian yet. But
Yeah.
yeah,
All
I think
very special and all very unique.
all of them worked on the Unicorn trilogy. At
Pretty
least all
sure.
of them did.
Yes,
I
pretty
think
sure
I'm
they
pretty
did.
sure.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think. I swear, like, did Paul? I don't know. Brian, I think he did. Michael definitely did because he voiced Armada Starscream.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's really cool. I think that's really cool. That's awesome. Did you grow up with the original George of the Jungle cartoon?
God, I'm trying to think. I knew about it for sure. I must have known about it for sure. Yeah. I just can't
Mm-hmm.
remember if I was watching it as a kid. Because I remember why, like, Flintstones was huge for me when I was a young
Yeah.
boy. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
loved the Flintstones. I loved all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then all the
Mm-hmm.
Hanna-Barbera stuff and just like, you know what I mean? But I'm sure at some point I saw that. Yeah.
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 Awesome. That's awesome. I've just noticed I did not change your name back to Michael Dangerfield when you jumped in. So if you see Program Manager, it is Michael. It's Michael. I
Oh
just
yeah,
forgot to
yeah.
change your name.
Well, we should talk about that. That's yeah, I mean, this is from so I started a school called On the Mic Training.
Yeah, let's talk about your voiceover teaching.
We, I started back in '07, started teaching just my own sort of like, just one class at a time, get
Mm-hmm.
7 or 8 people,
Yeah.
at the studio. And then I expanded it, added more instructors, and then got a partner to join me in 2015. And then we ultimately created a diploma program in voiceover. So it's a six
Ooh.
month program where you do
Mm-hmm.
480 hours of curriculum,
Yeah.
graduate with a diploma and a demo, and there's 12
Wow.
there's 12 courses in the program, and animation, dubbing, video games, narration, audiobooks, and commercial. And it's just super awesome. You're learning about the voice acting component, accents, the business side, MP3 auditions, improv. It's called the Comprehensive Voiceover Training Diploma Program because it's a comprehensive learning experience, and
Yeah.
it's highly transformational. We've had unbelievable success stories, people going on to do major animated series and video games and commercials
Wow.
and just you name it, audiobooks and stuff. So it's been very gratifying for me. I mean, basically, I have two jobs. One job is I'm a voice actor, and when I'm not doing that and auditioning and working, I'm like pivoting and I'm overdoing the school, and so I just live voiceover. I'm either running the school. I don't teach that much anymore because I'm busy kind of being the CEO of the school.
Yeah.
But if anyone's interested, they can check it out at onthemictraining.com and come to an open house because the program is either in studio in Vancouver or you can do it online from anywhere in the world
Oh,
for a diploma program.
interesting.
Yeah. So it's
Awesome.
awesome. I mean, it's just been, I love the giving back and I love seeing people expand who they are as human beings, not just as voice actors, but as who they are as human beings and how they express themselves further into their life with their loved ones, their friends, their partners. And, that's what it does. It forces people to go deeper into self-knowledge and then self-expression.
Yeah. What made you want to open a school for voiceover teaching?
I don't know. I was a tennis player for many years. I had a scholarship
Oh.
to a university in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
and so I've been a tennis player for many years. And as a matter of fact, I'm still ranked ninth in the country of Canada for doubles in my age
Wow.
category. So I'm very
That's
proud about that.
awesome.
But I'm still playing quite a bit. But I was a tennis teacher. So I learned how, like, I taught tennis at many different clubs around like North America, from Vancouver to Toronto, LA,
Yeah.
and I just learned how to teach, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
thought in '07, it's like, wait a minute, I think I can teach voiceover. I know how to teach. I know voiceover. Let me start to teach that. So I started teaching, and it came very easily to me, and I was able to help people improve and understand what their blocks were, and how to get further and get beyond the fear. I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
fear in letting go, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
just letting yourself go further and further into expression. There's a lot to learn technically, as you know, Amber, right? There's about voiceover, right? There's a lot of technical components of storytelling, and there's a three act structure to everything you do, right? The
Yeah.
three acts, right? Whether it's a 30-second commercial or an episode of animation, or there's always three acts to everything you do. So just stuff like that, right? So I started teaching voiceover, and then it just kind of grew, and now I mean, on the mic training is basically the biggest voice acting school in the English speaking world. I mean, there is no other like
Wow.
we're in Toronto as well. We have a location in Toronto. We're in Vancouver, and we have about 50 instructors, and we're doing a great job, and it's really really gratifying. I gotta tell you.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Good for you, Michael. I'm proud of you. Well
Thank you
done.
so much.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
My last sort of, I'd say, question would have to be, is there any recent projects that you've worked on that you can talk about? Is there anything you'd like to promote, as in
Yeah, yeah, there is
shows?
actually.
Hmm.
There's I don't know if you know this, but I've actually in my career I've done a lot of narration. It's something that I've done. I've done tons and tons, like probably 350 hours of broadcast narration for different shows.
Wow.
Probably, yeah.
In
Um,
Canada.
yeah, but for networks all over the,
Oh,
US
right.
and,
Okay.
everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Stuff
Hmm.
that's probably aired in the UK, I'm sure, like
Ooh.
a show called Ice Pilots, Rust Valley Restores. I
Maybe,
did
yeah.
6 and 5 seasons of those two shows.
Oh,
But
wow.
I just did a show recently called Underdog Inc., and it's about a small person named Dale Christensen who was on another show called Backroad Truckers. This is on the History Channel. But there's a new network called AMI, who specifically kind of tell stories about people that are disabled or have rare disease and stuff like that. So Dale is a small person who, struggles with some spine issues and stuff like that, and it's an awesome show. So I did the narration for that show, and it's airing right now on AMI, and you can check it out. I'm pretty sure you can even check it out online, but it's on TV as well, obviously in Canada and the US. And it's just awesome. He's such a good dude, and he goes through so much, but he's got such incredible courage and resilience. And he's got a little boy that he looks after, and he just gets himself in all kinds of trouble, and then he gets himself out of trouble, and and so that's coming. And then recently did a video game for Kiss, the band
Ooh.
Kiss.
Hmm.
So I was one of the main characters for that. So I think that's out by now, actually. Yeah.
Ooh. Hmm.
It's the latest video game for the band Kiss. So if you want to look that up, and I think it's for PlayStation and all the
Okay.
regular platforms, stuff like that. That's coming
Amazing.
out. And what else? I think I've got
Um,
some animation coming out as well. PB&J. Um, I think
is
that's it
that
though. Yeah.
nice? I had no. I'm trying to think of what. Do you know the actual? Is that no? I'm trying to think what it could be because I'm having a look, but it's
Oh, it's
coming up
called
with things.
Spaceman. You mean the Kiss video game?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's called Spaceman.
Space. Men or man?
Man, Spaceman.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
Space. Was it released
So
this
it's
year?
kind of like I don't know, it's sort of like a first person whatever first person POV
Okay. Mm-hmm.
kind of deal, right? So sorry, I'm just getting someone panicked is
That's
texting me.
okay. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't
I've
worry.
gotten back to them. So yeah, it's yeah, first person shooter, right? Isn't that what it's called?
I
What?
think so. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
what they're
yeah. So it's
called.
kind of
Yeah,
like, I mean, it's all about it. They're trying to they're in different locations, and
yeah,
but it's cool because there's a lot of references to like to the band and to different
yeah.
songs that they have, and so I did that with Hamster Ball Studios with uh, Randall Ryan. Do
Ooh,
you
that's
know
cool.
him, the voice director?
The name rings a bell.
Yeah,
Not
he's
sure
done a
if I
lot of
know
lot of
him
big
directly.
games over the years, and but yeah, we did that back in April, so that should be out pretty soon. I think he said like
Ooh,
6 months. Yeah,
ooh. Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else you'd like to promote? Have you got a website? Have you got where can people find you?
So I'm
on
at
the net?
michaeldangerfield.com, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
go to Michael Dangerfield is my your or my name for Instagram, and then M Dangerfield for X,
Mm-hmm.
and don't have TikTok. I have a YouTube channel again under Michael Dangerfield, so you can check that. I've just got a bunch of videos up there you can check out. Um, and then you can go to on the mic training.com for the school.
Mm-hmm.
And you can learn lots about stuff. Just go to the website. You can see, if you're interested in training with us, there's lots of information. You can book an admissions planning session with our admissions officer and learn about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then come see me if you're going to be at Wales Comic Con. I mean, come to my booth and please say hello and love to check out. We're going to have some pops there, I believe, some Sesshomaru pops,
Cool.
and
Mm-hmm.
I think some other. I mean, I think some Captain America and Han Solo pops as well. And, Ace Ventura is it was like apparently those ones are like crazy expensive. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but
Hmm.
they're like super expensive. I was like online looking at them. I was like, what? It's crazy.
So yeah,
So,
they are. Oh my goodness, I'm having a look now. They are quite expensive. They're probably. I'm not even. That's
so I don't know why that
wow.
is, but it's kind of funny. And then there's no pops for any of the Transformers characters that I've done, which I thought was interesting.
No.
Yeah. I
Oh, I
thought there
know they
might be some of those, but yeah, there's Superman as well and Pops as well, obviously.
they've just
But
started doing Beast Wars, so maybe they might move on to Unicron trilogy. I don't
ah,
know. Maybe
God,
I
with
don't
all
know.
the TF cons out there, you'd think that
I
there'd be
know.
right,
Yeah.
that there would be like
Yeah.
that maybe it's coming, right? Maybe it's coming. Yeah.
We can only hope so. We can only hope so.
So, but Amber, I look forward to seeing you. And like maybe I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
Like what is what do people in the UK really uh culturally respond to in terms of the media? Like what are they is it the exact same kind of slice of stuff that they're into as like people in the US and Canada? Is it a bit different? Like, do you know what I mean? Because I know like access is global now, right? So you can
Yeah.
have anything, right? So I mean, obviously you must have UK based shows that you really love, like,
Yes,
you know,
yes. But
right?
there's
So,
like,
so
well, there's some streaming services that we don't get, like Hulu and HBO Max. We don't get those in
okay.
the UK. So a lot of stuff really goes on Disney Plus or Netflix.
Yeah,
Obviously we don't have like PBS is like in the States or NBC or stuff like that. So when I went to the
right.
States, to watch these channels, we don't have Adult Swim, by the way, because it's something to do with I don't know what it is, but it's I guess it aired on it doesn't air on Cartoon Network in the UK. It's some sort of regulation. I don't know exactly what it is, but there is a lot of stuff. Watching American TV for the first time when I was in the States, I was like, wow, this is cool.
They don't they do TV very well
Yeah,
in the
definitely,
US.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely. Well,
that's
this
cool.
has been really fun. To you at home, thank you
Awesome.
so much for watching this episode of In Conversation with ATF featuring the lovely Michael Dangerfield. If you are near the Llangollen area this weekend, very short notice, there is still tickets available. Go buy your tickets
Come
to
on by.
go to Wales Comic Con at the Llangollen Pavilion from the 20th to the 21st of September. I'll be there. You'll probably see me hanging around Michael's table, either in cosplay or not. It depends. But I'm a content creator there, so you'll see me filming a lot of the time. Come say hi to both of us. And with that, we will see you very soon. Take care. Go check out Michael, and yeah, stay
Thanks,
happy, stay
everybody.
safe. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye
Amber.
bye. And cut.